Welcome back. Today, I'm going to talk about the top 10 reasons many potential new operators who are trying to enter the co-living investment model space. All right, welcome back. This is SeeWing Yi from the Yi Real Estate Network. So let me share my screen, and here we go. Here it is, the top 10 reasons most investors fail when they trying to enter the rent by the room investment model, which is promoted by mainly by PassSplit. PassSplit is the technology marketing platform which is changing the way real estate investing is coming along. It's one of the fastest growing real estate asset class in the country, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are 40, no, there are 30,000 housing units that are doing co-living throughout the country. There are 40 markets, and the numbers are skyrocketing year over year. All right. So we all understand rent by the room co-living model is really skyrocketing. I don't know how else I can say it. Yes, there's a lot of successful models out there, but what you have not heard so far is that there are a lot of people are making a lot of mistakes trying to become successful in the co-living past split investment models. I'm going to share with you why, okay? Because I've done that, been there, done that, right? So let's proceed. Right. Number one is co- number one is buying in the wrong location. Okay. Buying in the wrong location. You need to buy in the exact precise location, not every, okay. In your co-living property needs to be close to hospitals and medical campuses, universities, close to public transportation, if applicable, close to military bases, industrial parks and distribution centers, and retail employment hubs. Because at the end of the day, you are renting to the workforce tenant, the people that can barely afford to pay a one-bedroom apartment, which is typically, let's say, 1,500. They can rent your room by the room in your house, and they can pay potentially 50% less cost than a regular apartment. So the workforce housing, the blue collar, these kind of individuals, they desperately need housing. So that's a giving. All right. So let's continue. Right. So many investors buy in areas where the tenant pool simply does not exist. All right. Wrong location. Number one. Number two is poor house configuration, insufficient square footage. If you want to convert a single family home into a co-living space, three bedroom, two bath, into a six bedroom, two bath, or eight bedroom, two bath, you need at least a 2,000 square foot, right? And you need to have a decent floor plan. And the challenge is the bathroom access is very, very limited. So not every house is suitable for co-living conversion. Okay. Number three, ignoring purpose-built new construction. I know. That's what we do. My company, we offer new construction, purpose-built co-living properties, which unfortunately a lot of people in the country have not heard about my organization. Okay. So uh, that's, I'm trying to spread the news, but most co-living operators and most prospective new co-living operators, they don't know any better, right? Across the country, they think they have to find a renovated property, old property, and convert it into extra bedrooms, go through all the hassles, all the effort, all the costs, and still not become successful. So I'll get into more about that later in this presentation. So the ideas, I mean, again, I'm going to go over briefly our co-living investment models as well. So just hold your thoughts. All right. And furthermore, and they a lot of A lot of potential investors, they are refusing to invest outside their local area. Okay, they their local market may not support co-living. The local market may have regulation which could be restrictive for co-living operators. And most importantly, the local market, if they live in an expensive market, it's very, very hard to convert an expensive house into co-living. Does not matter whether you're able to rent 7 to 10 rooms. If your housing cost is too high, the numbers does not work. Okay, so successful investors follow the numbers, not their own backyard. Right? They have to think outside the box. They have to potentially invest outside of where they live. Live where you want to live. Invest where the numbers make sense, and the numbers, cash flow, all the numbers you have to crunch as part of your due diligence and underwriting. All right, number five, trying to make co-living work in a high cost market. I kind of addressed that, right? So if you own a like $500,000 single family home, traditional home, or $800,000 single family home, like many expensive markets. I personally live in San Francisco Bay Area for many, many years. I never invest in my backyard because the numbers does not work. It does not cash flow. And co-living properties are no different, right? You have to factor in if you live in a high cost market, you have to, crunch the number, look at your mortgage, insurance, taxes, maintenance, management costs. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to build a co-living house in your neck of the woods? So, investors in California, Seattle, New York City, Boston often force a model into markets where acquisition costs are too high. Even for 7 to 8 bedrooms, these costs can eliminate profitability if you're not willing to invest outside of your backyard, if you will, right? And some investors think they know it all. They've done a lot of research. They think they can self-manage their co-living property, right? Because co-living property, rent by the room, is all about, multiple tenant situation. There are roommate conflicts, rent collection problems, of which Passbed, which we use as a marketing platform, will alleviate all those problems. Plus, we have co-living professional property management in addition to the Passbed marketing platform. So we have a whole team to help our investors to invest remotely, long distance, and off what you call it yeah, do it long distance and offhand. I don't know what's that word. Okay, so many new operators underestimate the complexity of co-living. All right, so because if you do it wrong, if you self-manage, I mean, you're essentially creating a second job, right? I mean, that's not what I call time freedom, which is that's what real estate is all about. Real estate investing is time freedom, all right? And of course, you underestimate tenant screening and all those details as I discussed. You can alleviate that by using PassSplit technology marketing platform, PassSplit, and a professional co-living property management. Of course, you have to pay separate fees, typically 8% fee for PassSplit and 8% fee for property management separately from your gross rent you collect. All right. So number eight is failing to maintain high occupancy. Again, it's all about marketing, tenant retention, leasing, which PassSplit will alleviate all that. So especially for beginners, right? So the co-living model depends heavily on occupancy, whereas a traditional rental may survive occasionally with vacancy, co-living cannot, right? Right. Number nine is not understanding the numbers, right? You have to understand basic numbers. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to do the numbers, but you have to understand the gross rent, the operating expenses, utilities, furnishing of the rooms you have to pay out of pocket, fully furnished costs, cleaning and turnover expenses, property management fees, and the whole, there's a lot of fees involved. You have to pay utilities and everything else. and vacancy and repairs and all those kind of things you have to factor in on your underwriting and for the property itself. All right. So number 10 is treating co-living like a traditional landlording, right? It's not, it's not rent by the family. It's not rent for the family long term anymore, right? Not traditional long term renting. It's all about uh, co-living is a business, although to us it's a part-time business, right? A couple of hours a month, right? Uh, but uh, uh, but it's not just a rental property. You have to think like a business owner. So you have to put the systems, process, and procedures in place, right? So you have to have a system. And so the biggest takeaway for co-living property is not simply adding a few extra rooms. You have to, again, you have to buy in the right market, the right property design. The acquiring a property have to be affordable. $300,000, $400,000 price range is the good benchmark to converting a traditional property into co-living property. Of course, you need professional property management and marketing system, as I mentioned. Uh, so uh, so if you do it right, like we're doing, the system we use, co-living can generate significantly higher cash flow than traditional single family rentals. All right. So because even you have one or two vacancy in your co-living rooms, you still cash flow, right? So anyway, all right. So this is the traditional way people converting their single family home into a more bedrooms, right? You convert three-bedroom with one income stream on a traditional rental into six-bedroom, whatever, right? That's how you increase your cash flow. So you can see the before and after traditional long term versus conversion after using a past split, right? So, but there are people I see it every single day as we are continue with this co-living ecosystem, if you will. I see so many people do it wrong way. They think, oh, it's very co-living, rent by the rooms, very profitable. Let me get into it. They have very little experience. They're rookie investors. They're not savvy. They hire the wrong fake real estate go co-living gurus, if you will, out there. And they do different ways, right? They do burst strategy, converting a old house, all the renovation costs, and at the end of the day, even if they're able to finish renovating, converting into a co-living property, look at the layout. I wouldn't personally, I'm not going to buy a co-living property having this type of numbers, like four-bedroom, two bath. This is nothing. Look at this. It's just like a six-bedroom, two bath. I mean, would you feel comfortable as an operator, as a host, uh, just creating your co-living property with four member tenants sharing one bathroom? This is the biggest red flag what I've seen that are not being talked about in this co-living environment. I mean, when you have one bedroom and one bath ratio like we do on our new construction property, oh my gosh, the tenant will pay 20% more than a property that have a share bathroom, right? And our member have a lot higher experience, and they can stay longer. They're happier because they have a private bathroom, and we can charge more rent. We can charge 20 or 30% monthly more rent than another co-living house that have shared bathrooms. I mean, it's just this private bathroom per bedroom are not being talked about, all right, enough, because this is the biggest killer. I'm not saying people that own this type of property, they can be successful. They can have maybe 800 to $1,000 monthly net cash flow if they do it right. But personally, I wouldn't buy any of these. Look at this, eight-bedroom, two bath. Are you kidding me? No way. Okay, no matter how good it is, I'm not gonna have this kind of blueprint, six-bedroom, two bath, regardless of the cost. Okay, that is just my personal opinion, knowing what I know versus everybody out there. Again, right? There are 30,000 co-living hosts out there across 40 markets in the country. I know a lot of them are doing well, but a lot of those hosts, especially beginners, they are not doing well. They crash and burn because a lot of reasons. Okay, they just don't know what they're doing. They don't understand the blueprint behind successful co-living. Right? Not this type, not renovation, older property in the bad neighborhood, bad house configuration. You know, three or four members sharing one bathroom. You know how much conflicts. You know how much friction associated with that. It's just you're not going to have a good host experience. Furthermore, high risk strategies for co-living operators. I still see people, other content creators. In different part of the country. They are trying to enter the co-living market. The real estate co-living quote unquote gurus out there, many of them are fake gurus. They use this kind of concept to entice new investors to enter the co-living market. What they do is, raising capital, number one, wholesaling into co-living, seller financing, or signing up for expensive co-living coaching programs from fake co-living gurus out there. And there's a lot of them. They're popping up everywhere daily as we speak that. Like I look, I monitor, and I observe the co-living world throughout the country. Okay, I know what's going on. All right, so I've been in this game for a long, long time, real estate investing game, right? And I coach, mentor thousands of real estate investors across the country for more than 20 years to do regular, traditional, long-term renting. Okay, strategies in many markets. We specialize in new construction, cash flow properties, in cash flow in path of growth, mainly Sunbelt areas, mainly Florida and Texas, for the most part. Okay. All right. So again, I mean, people doing fix and flip into co-living model, what you call burst strategy. You buy, you renovate, you refinance, and you repeat. It's very time consuming, very costly to do all these kind of strategies. And some co-living models, they are promoting using hard money, short-term loans to finance renovated old properties into ultimately into co-living deals. All these six strategies and even more, it's not that simple, especially when you have a full-time job, especially you're very busy, especially if you're in a high expensive markets. But especially for newbies that trying to enter this co-living model and they go through this kind of program, you know how hard it is. I mean, there's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of people don't gurus out there, YouTube influencers. They are trying to promote co-living. Oh, it's very easy to do. All you gotta do is add a few bedrooms. No, it's not that simple, right? If you use these six strategies I just mentioned, you have to go through every step of the way. There are risks, renovation costs, beyond your initial budget. You're using the wrong contractor, or somebody scamming you, or the renovation costs, and all that, and you're not following the regulations, the compliance in the local market. You in a wrong neighborhood, wrong street, wrong whatever, not close to public transportation, where 50% of the member tenants, they don't even own a car. So you need to have proper parking space. You need to have a transportation which is within walking distance of the property you're operating. So it's a lot of details that are missing by those inexperienced investors out there that are trying to enter the co-living space. All right, so let me conclude by best blueprint. I mean, I know I'm being biased, is getting co-living new construction from the grounds up, right? And we have 5 co-living markets as we speak, and it'll be more because our builders and our team are doing all this kind of work, turnkey, 100% co-living, and we have Jacksonville, Tampa, Houston, and more areas. Look at this, grounds up, rent by the 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Isn't it amazing? And the returns and the cash flow that we have, proof of concept is very, very high. Look at this new construction, high quality warranties, everything, right? Just everything is done for you with 100% turnkey. Uh, uh, situation, right? You can live anywhere in a country or anywhere in the world for that matter, and still are able to buy this 100% turnkey, hands-off co-living new construction, high returns, low risk, with the past split doing the marketing and co-living property management, doing the day-to-day stuff for you. So we have several different floor plans. We discussed this many times before. I'm not going to go over the details, but our 7 to 7 model, 7 bedroom, 7 bath, is only 320K in Jacksonville. Look at the cash flow, 25% down payment, 2 grand cash flow mostly. Look at, you can pause the screen, look at the numbers, look at the pro forma. Is off the chart. Everything, all these numerical ratios are off the chart on the single family. We have a duplex 14, amazing. Only 16, I mean $600,000, 14 rooms, 14 private bath. Look at the gross rent per month, almost 15 grand. Look at the monthly cash flow, more than $5,000 monthly net cash flow, deducting all the expenses, all the mortgages, all your obligations, maintenance, utility costs, the whole and taxes, insurance, property management fee, everything else, and still net 5 grand. And the numbers and the numerical numbers are off the chart. I'm not going to discuss this. Look at the 60% return on your investment at the end of the first year. This is absolutely historical numbers. Yeah, no other residential investing strategies that I've ever run across achieving these kind of returns. So Houston, we have a 10 bedroom, 10 bath. These numbers, you put 25% down payment, your cash flow, almost $3,000, right? It's just brand new. I mean, member tenants, they love to live in the brand new houses. They love to have a private bathroom, which most co-living houses throughout the country don't have any of these, not even close, all right? Yeah, it's not cheap, right? Down payment, is quite substantial for a lot of these co-living properties. In Tampa, 8 bedroom, 8 private bathrooms. Look at the numbers, right? It's just absolutely crazy. Again, you can pause the screen, look at the number, digest the numbers yourself. We even have a fourplex quads coming up in Jacksonville, Florida, 16 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms. It is absolutely amazing. And here's the rendering. Here's the architectural design. We are exploding in growth. Our team, our builder is one of the top builders in the southern region of the U.S. We are all in, right? We see the successful model. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, if we use we have more locations we're entering into as we speak for the next few years. Florida and Texas, we love these two areas. As you can see, Passport have done a lot of advanced marketing, and they have identified a lot of positive experience going on with co-living through Passport for the past few years. Florida is number 1 target, and Texas has been successful at the number 2 co-living markets among all the 40 markets that are promoted by Passport. Okay, so that's pretty much it. All right. So yeah, a lot of our properties are needs to be built, right? You buy the lot, you reserve the lot, and we can build the house for you, right? Again, you have to, but it's not going to be easy. But yep, that's what's going on. So at the end of the day, the takeaway is you need to understand that not all co-living models are the same. There are a lot of risk involved if you don't know what you're doing. If you buy in the wrong market, like I said, if you use some wrong real estate guru, whatever, if you use the wrong operator to help you, you are risking your hard-earned money. So go with a proven blueprint, proven concept. We use this the gold standard new construction co-living, which is very rare out there, right? Most of the co-living properties, the 30,000 housing units spread across the country, they are not new construction. We are the only organization that I know of right now promoting new construction, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. This is a just differentiator. I don't know how else to put it. Okay, so that's all I have to say. Hopefully you receive a lot of value from this video. Please like and subscribe me to my YouTube channel, and above all, put your email into my website. So So you can become a free member of our real estate organization. So if you're really motivated, you can contact me directly. We can do a complimentary consultation. So you can potentially, take your first step to buy your first co-living property. Thank you so much. This is SeeWing Yi from the Yi Real Estate Network. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.